Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the Noble Knight. So yeah, this is the one I've been waiting months for and it's finally here. Awesome piece of packaging. Have not tried it, as you can still see it's sealed. And yet really looking forward to this. It's meant to be a Tri-Brid setup, but obviously we'll look at that in a bit. Yeah, and as usual, the full disclaimers, I'd like to thank basically a PR company sent this on behalf of Noble. So thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, nor thoughts and opinions are my own. And yeah, been a few months in the making. Yeah, I have no idea what this is like. I don't know what the house sound is or anything like that. But yeah, these look pretty cool. And yeah, let's just get into it. So let's have a closer look. Really cool packaging. The Knight C. Nothing on the side. Noble there. Quick look at the back. So it's some information there. Specs. So dynamic driver. For the low, basically bass, mid-range, mid to high is a Sonion 23. The ultra high they've got a Piezo, so it's a Tri-Brid for 3 drivers. Impedance less than 26 ohms. Get my words out. Hand assembled or matched. So that's good to actually. I've never seen that before. Sensitive enough for earphones as well as portable amp and DACs. 8-core detachable cable and 2-pin with a 0.78, which is again standard. 4.4. So let's have a look. Again, I've not really seen these since the promo images. Okay, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the it's always, because obviously these are not that cheap. Obviously presentation matters. I'll have a look at that in a sec. Yeah, so pouch. A little bit of paperwork here, and I think that's, yeah, so that's that. Let's get one of these out. So cable, obviously I'll have a look in a bit. So it's 4.4. I like the carbon fibre look. That's the effect, kind of 3D-ish. That's pretty cool. Reminds me of the Assassin's Creed kind of motive, and it's kind of similar. So quite large. Where my thumb is, that's quite large. This lower section by the nozzle. And I guess in here is tips. Yeah, so okay, quite a few. So like double flange ones here. Some foamies, wide silicone ones. Yeah, so quite a few. Again, I like the case. That's quite a neat touch. And yeah, so good to see things are a bit different by Noble. Again, I've never tried any of their products before. Yeah, about £269 for this. And yeah, again, I have no idea what this sounds like. So yeah, I'll see you sometime in the future. Yes, so welcome to my review section of the Noble Audio Knight. Priced, I've already mentioned, but it's about £269, and I think dollars is $2.89. I think something like that. I'm not quite sure the euros, but it's obviously going to be in that ballpark. So again, this is another closer look at the case for the tips. They're all basically one kind of bore size, or well, most of them. And yeah, so you got, these are really wide bore. I prefer the ones fitted. You got kind of smaller bore, which I think these prefer, a bit wider there. These kind of like double flange ones you can see here. So yeah, plenty of choice, plus the ones fitted, as you can see over there. Obviously this is the cable, so pretty good. It's a little bit stiff, 4.4 only, like carbon fibre look. Again, probably with use it may soften up a bit, but I'm happy with that. Carbon fibre again there, I like the look. There's a chin slide rear, which is fairly stiff, so that's pretty good. And obviously this is what it looks like fitted. So it's the left unit. You can see the blue on there. Look really good. Again, it looks like the reminds me of the Assassin's Creed kind of logo. Obviously similar, because obviously with it being a knight, and that's what they look. I think they look pretty good. So take these off. Again, 2-pin. A bit of a wiggle. There you go. Get rid of that. So comfort and fit. So get these out, because these are for a Tri-Brid. I think there's only 3 technically drivers. One dynamic driver, one I think one BA that does mids to highs, and there's a Piezo for like higher higher highs basically. There, so 3 drivers, and it's probably the largest shell I've seen, especially this section between my thumb and finger. That bit's quite large, so could be the best, but I did kind of get used to it. I think to help with that as well, you could always use a different tip size. If you use a smaller tip, the insertion might be different. So obviously that's for VT Playround, but it's apart from that, they're not too heavy for the size, and that's it really. So build quality seems really good. They've got really good channel matching as well. They do say they do get checked by hand, so I presume that's accurate because the matching on obviously the set I have is really good. I'm quite late to this release. I think it's been out for maybe 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, something like that. So I'm a bit late to it anyway. So power and sensitivity, these are easy to power. But again, I think they do scale with better equipment. So you could use something basic. But if you do use something a bit more powerful, well, not necessarily power, but something to a higher quality, I think it does benefit from it. And that's it really. Yes, so technicalities, micro details on this set, again pretty good. They try to use the best of each driver type in a way, but I think it's pretty good. Timbre on this set, considering it's a Tri-Brid, is actually again pretty good. And also, unfortunately, I've not tried any more Normal Audio products. This is just the one, and this is more of a budget focused one. But for a lot of what I do on this channel, this isn't that cheap. You know, I tend to do stuff between £20, £100, £150 kind of bracket. But lately, obviously, I've done 200 to 400. Obviously, there's a video you haven't seen yet, which should follow this, but different topic. You'll see what that is, but that's more expensive than this. Even that has its issues, but that'll be explained in that video. Anyway, so isolation seems pretty good. Soundstage imaging seems okay, really. And yeah, so sound. So I had no idea what these are like, and the graph is very misleading. So as usual, I listened to these first and then graph them afterwards. So I looked at that graph, I thought, not much low end. These are bassier than the graph suggests, which is kind of odd. Also, further up, you see that peak at 5K. I didn't really notice that all that much. So they don't sound how it looks. So this is one of those graphs where it's a bit misleading. Yeah, so let's talk low end. Quite punchy low end. Obviously, it does lack a bit of sub bass. It has it, but it's not its intended design. It's got more of a mid bass punch. Now on there, it doesn't really look all that much. You can see it changes from 300 hertz, obviously down. Yeah, definitely bassier than it looks in my opinion. It's got good mid bass. It's not a bass monster, mind you, but it's got good mid bass. Mid range on this set, I think, is really, really good. There's no shout. It doesn't really get muddy or anything like that. I think obviously there's just a BA doing this category. And then I don't know what type of driver they actually use for it, which BA, but it seems quite competent, as you can see. Very good channel matching. There's like, is it 1 degree off? 1 decibel off, sorry. I never noticed anything like that. I think it's pretty solid. But yeah, mid-range cleaner than I was expecting, and not as shouty as I was. Well, I didn't know what to expect really. I was expecting maybe to be a bit more forward, but I like that it's not. So treble. Now it looks, there's that big peak just under 3K, but the thing is though, it doesn't have the big upper mid-range, so these aren't a shouty set. I think they've got really good vocals. Again, really good. The treble again is better than I expected. You can see past 10K there's a couple of peaks, but they don't shoot up. It just helps with the extension of the sound. So I presume that's the Piezo doing that. I like that it's not crazy boosted there to give you some fatigue. Again, helps with detail, and it's got more extension that basically than people can hear. The only thing to note is you can see that peak around just over 5K. So you'd think that's sibilance kind of area. But again, it doesn't. It's not that. It's not as bright as the treble. So a lot of so normally like from the 3K it keeps continuing up to like where the 5Ks, and then there's those dips. So it's not as bright as it looks. Now that's not coupler resonance, because a coupler normally resonance is closer to the 8K. From the couplers, obviously most reviewers like myself use. But yeah, the 5K it looks worse, and it looks worse than it actually sounds. And yeah, so I looked at it. I thought, I didn't notice that when I heard it, and I didn't. So yeah, kind of a weird kind of graph, but it's bassier than it looks, and it's a little bit smoother in the treble than it looks. Pretty good extension. The coherence between the drivers is actually pretty good. Again, I use this for a lot of electronic music. It seems absolutely fine. I tried it with some, I don't know what you call it, metal, but it's not. It wasn't as aggressive as I kind of thought it was, really. And yeah, kind of a different graph, which is pretty good. Most graphs I see don't have mid-range or treble, anything like that. But yeah, with symphonic metal, pretty good. And some other pop music and some other bits and bobs here and there, I had no issue. Seems quite well rounded from what I tried. And yeah, so I think I'll end it there. So conclusion of the Noble Audio Notes. Not a bad set, but it's in a price category, even though this is a cheap one from that brand. There's a lot of heavy hitters, £200 to £300. The shell is really big. It would be good if they could pull the same tech but in a smaller shell, because it's really big for 3 drivers. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So again, it doesn't sound like how the graph looks, in my opinion. Got obviously good tips in there. The cable's good. I like the packaging. It's a bit different. I do like the night theme into it, and I think I'll end it there. So if you think I missed anything, please do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you in the next video.